called a Dutch rudder. A circle jerk is you jerking off the other guy. A Dutch rudder is it's your hand, but they're working your arm.
No, it's soggy.
What? It's different. Just saying.
Jamie, did you actually go live?
Yeah, we went live.
Yeah.
Absolutely, we just went live. Woods just got the full end of
Sorry,
that conversation.
It's Jay's fault.
I tell you what, Woods. I count down for my players every time, and this is what they do to me.
Everybody knows what a Dutch rudder is. Okay,
This is what
they
they
not
do
know
to
what
me.
a double Dutch rudder is, but everyone knows what a Dutch rudder is.
All right, hey everybody, welcome back. We're back for more Dungeon of the Mad Mage. We just finished our break. We're having an interesting conversation. Let's get back into the swing of D&D. So, Bones, you head over to the Guild of Fine Carvers late afternoon, early evening for their monthly meeting, where you have been told you are going to be formally introduced to the rest of the guild, right? Have you be sworn in. I think you already signed the ledger, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you get there, right, and there's a little crowd, right? Probably 20, 30 different people. You find Farfali is there, right? Ends up picking you out of the crowd, kind of like brings you over to a specific area, asks how you're doing, right, etc., etc. Introduces you to a couple of different people throughout the crowd, members of the guild, etc. And then eventually the meeting begins, and it's pretty base, honestly, to start things off.
I would want to bring or try and bring Ochotu to this as well.
Ooh, sure. Okay, so Ochotu would absolutely be willing to go. He's kind of one of those like weird like wallflower kind of people in a large organization or a large gathering like this. So he kind of like he's very stiff and rigid the whole time. So I saw the Odie sleep sitting up comment, and now I'm like, Odie. He's got these long legs out.
Trying not to choke himself.
Anyways, so Ochotu's there. The meeting begins. You see Lothric, right? The half-elf. Basically goes through a litany of congratulations, right, to various members of the guild for things that they have accomplished throughout the month, etc., right? He talks about how the guild has been doing going into the winter season, that many of the guild members have performed admirably with all of the construction work that's necessary for a lot of the different situations that they... Because you guys... So, there are actual, like, building guilds, but the Guild of Fine Carvers gets brought in for, like, decorating homes and things like that, right? So, there's a fair bit of work that they do on certain seasonal situations. But eventually, the whole thing winds down to the induction ceremony. And you, along with... you along with another individual are being formally presented to the guild, sworn in tonight. You find the other individual is a halfling whose name is Yelen Mamuhovi. Who is being inducted into the Guild of Fine Carvers as an apprentice. So you're not alone, but there's a bit of a, like, when you're both announced, right? You're both brought up in front of the guild. You're both announced. There is a bit of a round of admiration and applause, right, for each of you. But there's obviously like, and there are plenty of people that you see in the crowd that are already aware of the fact that there's a lot of people that aren't surprised by this when it gets announced, right? But the fact that you're getting introduced or you're getting inducted in as a journeyman, rather than an apprentice, does make a couple of people in the crowd go, "Oh, okay, interesting, right?" So yeah, so it's legitimately a thing. Most people who do that, or most people that happens to, end up being like older or middle-aged, right? People that moved to Waterdeep from other locations, right? But that had a life in a previous place. You don't look necessarily like an old cat, per se. So there are plenty of people that are like, oh, okay, interesting, right? And there's a little bit that is said about each one of you, right? Kind of introduced. The fact that you work primarily in bone, that's your specialty, that gets brought up, right, as you're introduced. And you are asked if you... Actually, they would swear you in before they ask this. So, who is it? It'd actually be, Ivy would be the one that would swear you in. So Ivy comes up...
Montague, age 56.
Ivy comes up with you and Yellen, and she goes through
tattoo of shark.
She goes through the oath with you, right? So there's the ledger of the guild, right? So she has you put your hand on it, right? And she has you repeat after her. Would you like to take the oath?
Yes, I will take the oath.
I shall strive to be an upstanding citizen of Waterdeep.
I shall strive to be an upstanding citizen of Waterdeep.
And embody the virtues of her people.
And embody the virtues of his people. Its people. The people.
I swear to represent the guild honorably.
I swear to represent the guild honorably.
In all facets of my life.
In all facets of my life.
I will hone my skills.
I'm gonna hone my skills.
Elevate my craft.
Elevate my craft.
And be an asset to myself, the guild, and our fair city.
And be an asset to myself, the guild, and our fair city.
I will abide by guild rules.
Not it. Okay, I thought that was it. I'd like to gloss over the rest of it.
And follow directives from the guild. And I will make all efforts that my knowledge and secrets do not die with me.
I like that. That's noble.
I like my secrets to die with me, please.
Okay, you are rejected from the guild and kicked out.
Big oof.
Big oof. No, actually, the original founders of the guild are fucking shit. What's her name?
Gross.
I forgot her name. The goddess
Aphrodite.
Fuck, no.
Hephaestus.
Does Aphrodite exist in D&D?
Sailor Beepus.
Sailor Beepus.
Sailor.
Definitely not Sailor. Definitely not Sailor Beepus.
He was. I don't know if he still is.
Fuck, I can't remember her name. It's the goddess of knowledge.
Ion.
Ion, yeah. So the original.
Ooh, got it before Jake.
Some of
Fuck
the
you,
original
Jake.
Establishers of the Guild of Fine Carvers were followers of Ion, and they're kind of against the death of secrets, right? The concept of like knowledge being lost.
Fair enough, yeah.
So that's why that's a part of their oath. So, anyways, after that, right after you swear the oath, Yellen swears the oath. You're both asked if you have anything that you like, if you'd like to make a speech to the guild or anything like that.
No speech.
Okay, sounds good. Well, you are introduced around to a couple of different people, and one individual in particular probably would stand out to you because Farfalli introduces you specifically to one Crescent Wheelix, a young gnome woman from a far-off land called Thresk. And she introduces you to Crescent because Crescent is, I believe, when you first got inducted into the Guild of Fine Carvers, they mentioned that there was like one other person in the entire guild that even did anything with bone. And that's Crescent.
I recall that. Oh, cool.
So Crescent is very interested in meeting you, right? She is very talkative, right? So she just talks your ear off about who you are and where you're from and what you like to do and what you like to craft and why do you like bone. She talks to you why she likes bone. She tells you a whole bunch of stuff that I am willing to tell you if you want to know, but if you don't want to know, that's also fine, right?
Why does she like bone?
She likes bone because of where she grew up. She grew up in Thresk near the Dragon Jaws. It's just on the other side of the Sea of Fallen Stars, and it's also kind of semi-known as the Land of Titans. She grew up with a large family, and they grew up
good bones there.
They grew up literally in a Titan's skull, in the remains of a Titan's skull that had been built into a small abode, basically.
That's pretty cool.
And yeah, it's like this massive graveyard for like dragons and giants and etc. etc. So she was just always fascinated with bones and carving. Her family are crafters, right? Had always been crafters, and it was a big ass family. So her name is Crescent, right? Her brothers and sisters.
So this
she
is
has
my
4
Aaron
brothers
Burr.
and 2 sisters, right? So she just goes on and on and on, right? Just like that, right? She just goes on and on and on and on about her family and all her different stuff. So.
I see. What rank is she?
She is a journeyman as well.
Okay.
She is the grandest of masters.
But she proffers to you, right, that most of the time while she's working in Waterdeep, she has to work in normal things, wood primarily, right? Because bone just isn't something that is as sought after in Waterdeep.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're ever interested in partnering up on something, she says look her up. She would always enjoy more excuses to work in the medium of her choice.
Okay, yeah. Dude, I show her some of my good bones. Like, hey,
Sure.
check out these bones.
She is probably the one person that you've experienced this with, where she's actually like she admires your awesome bones, and she's like, "Oh, this is so cool. We could do this with it." And oh man, oh, can you imagine if we took like a big ass femur like this and we just like studded everything like 3 rows of these claws like down the side? Oh my goodness, if you hit something with that, oh.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
So
I show her my new dagger that I haven't
Okay.
gotten enchanted yet.
Gotcha.
It looks like a little mini chainsaw, essentially.
Do you like talk to her about like the idea and everything like that?
Yeah.
She's stoked. Like she's like, when you finish it, you gotta bring it to. I want to see it in action. That's so amazing. She thinks it's super cool.
Yeah, it's a minotaur horn. I call it gore. Yeah, get it, gore.
Ah, very nice.
Yeah, I like you. You're the best.
So, and this is a scenario. So you've already kind of like, both mechanically and roleplay, you've already kind of like attached yourself to Ochotu. So if that's a path you want to take, absolutely you can. If you're interested in partnering with Crescent every once in a while, that's also something you can. If things don't work out with you in Ochotu, then Crescent's a potential another option. Basically, either one are, we talked about this a while back, but either one are methods for you to continue some of your work while still being in the dungeon.
Dope. Yeah. Okay, cool. And then lastly, I would approach Farfalli about, I learned now I've got a project finishing up, and, maybe see if I can get reevaluated real quick. Not
Oh.
today.
A reevaluation?
Yeah.
That's fine. It's I mean, not that I doubt you or anything like that, but it's a little.
Yeah, no, I know I'm new,
update.
but I'm real excited about this project.
Well, really, honestly, it was only Lothric that was a little put off by how young you were, and she says that, and then she goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said." But everyone was very impressed, and I think if you show anywhere near the amount of aplomb that you did with the first one, then probably I think it should be no issue getting in this time. So mechanically, there are some things that I've worked out with how things work. I'm still working on the 100% mechanics because I want you to be able to see something forward facing. But the basics is that to go up to expert, you're going to be judged by a 3-person board, just like you did last time, right? But you do need unanimous agreement from the board. I want to work on mechanics of how you can maybe like do things for the guild to increase your reputation with the guild, and then increasing your reputation with the guild will give you bonuses, right? There's always the route of you could bribe people to make sure that you have certain bonuses, etc., right? But I want you to have options, and what we do with your ranking in the guild is something that any other player could use with any other guild. So I want to build a framework on how people tier up in different guilds. So I'm working on that. I would say Farfali will say she'll put it together, but it might take a couple of days for them to pull together the actual time. Did you have a time frame?
I mean,
actually,
I'm gonna be going away for a few days on on the 5th or the 5th or the 6th. When are we leaving, guys?
I think she'll say this. Are you going to be here on the 9th? Will you be available then?
Probably not. I'll probably be back on the 11th.
On the 11th?
I might be here on the 9th. I don't know. It's hard to tell.
Can you get her a message on the morning of the 9th?
Hellbound, by the way.
Okay, well, yeah.
Can you get her a message on the morning of the... Basically, you did this last time, right? You did the, I'd like to do this thing, but we're in the dungeon all the time, so can I let you know when I'm available? So she lets you know if you can get her a message on the morning of the 9th or the 10th, she can make it happen one of those nights.
Okay, sure.
Okay. Otherwise, it might take like another day or two to like get things situated.
Yeah, fair enough.
So just notate that.
I notate.
It has so been notated.
All right, cool. Anything else?
Nope, that's it for me.
Fantastic. Okay, so I think unless there's anything you guys want to talk about, afterwards, right? There's it turns into a social gathering at that point. Dinner served, there's, a lot of talking back and forth between the various members of the guild. People come and introduce themselves to you, so you get this long line of people, and eventually you and Ochotu at home. Is there anything you guys want to do once you're all back together at Pearl Skull? Nope. Sounds good?
Nothing. Nope, no.
All right.
We're good.
We're on to the morning of the 4th. So, on the morning of the 4th, Matashtai, you get a missive from the guard, one of the various contacts that you've developed at the guard, letting you know that they're sending out requests for all of the volunteers. So if you come in today, you can do all of your paperwork and everything like that for Howdown.
Okay.
Yo, put us down for Troll King.
You could do it. You could do it today, or you could do it tomorrow, or you could do it the 6th. If you do it later than that, it might be bad shit.
Am I able to do all the paperwork myself, or does the group have
you
to come
do
with?
it all fine. They don't need. As long as basically. They're assuming that
two
you're a
forms of ID.
representative of your group.
2 forms of ID.
Yeah.
Do they need mail
No.
showing
No,
that they reside at Troll Skull?
No. 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 No.
I'm
No.
a man of
No.
the people. I reside everywhere.
Okay. So we're done with that.
But mostly at Troll School because it's free.
That.
Classy.
Okay, so I think that's the only information that gets shared or brought up or anything like that. So we go around the carousel yet again. Zach, do you want to start off?
Is it ready or is it going to be the evening?
Oh, you're right. Okay, so do you want to end?
I want to end.
Okay, fantastic. We'll go to Ashes. What are you doing for the day?
Regular work day or half work day or what?
It's a full day.
Full day, so like double up day or?
No. So you have you can do a thing.
Okay, I can do a thing. Harpsichord.
Harpsichord. Okay, so you're up to 9. You need one more day to finish the harpsichord. Anything else for your day? Like any odds and ends, people you want to hang out, talk to, figure out, etc.
Talk with Matcham a little bit, and if Ocho
is that a reoccurring thing? Is after you you go get beers after the training session, that type thing?
Yeah, I figure out I'm not gonna delve clearly he's a harper and he doesn't really he's not super open about it, so I'm not gonna press it. But I'd be curious if he was kind of assigned to be at the tavern.
He's super open about it with you.
Yeah.
He'll be cagey to random people in the tavern, but he's super open about it with you. Absolutely. That is what he does as a Harper agent. I mean, he does other things as a Harper agent, but his main thing as a Harper agent is he hangs out in the Yawning Portal to keep tabs on what's going on in the portal.
Right.
Both what's happening in Undermountain and what's happening, because the portal is a big gathering hub for a lot of adventurers and random people.
So it's a good place to keep your finger on the pulse of
absolutely, and that is
activity.
100% what Three Strings does for the Harpers. Cool. And the only reason that he's so upfront and open with you about it is probably because of the different interactions you guys have had. Because Ezra is a Harper, and you guys are really done plenty of work with the Harpers, the whole Calabash scenario, etc. So he's basically at the point to where he's like, I have zero reason to be hush-hush about you. He's not going to spill all his secrets to you.
Right.
But he's not going to be, cagey with you.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Plus,
cool.
he is, whatever else he is still literally actually a bard. So when he gets talking, he likes to talk.
As a predisposition as being one of his trade.
So, anything else for the day?
That'll be it.
Ezra, you're up.
I continue my quest for knowledge.
Roll me another history check, boyo. And good luck to you. Ooh! A 24 is pretty good. You get more knowledge. Okay, this is going to take a second. Go into the knowledge.
Knowledge.
Another thing that you learn, entrance-wise, is this is now a defunct entrance, but there used to be an entrance called the Night in Shadow at another tavern. That tavern collapsed about 50 years ago, and the entrance went with it. Okay, so you find that out.
It was arson. Or it was destroyed by Durnan. That's what
you find out more things about successive levels. So you find out another name for the first level is the tomb level, because along with so many temples, it has a whole lot of tombs. You find out another name for the second level is called the Helm Watch, and you have a great difficulty figuring out why it's called that, but it is something to do with the god Helm. You find another name for the Sargoth level, or another important location of the Sargoth level, is the Promenade of the Dark Maiden. Okay. You find out another name for the Twisted Caverns, level 4, is the Farms. you find out another name for the maze, or a more in-depth name, is the Maze of Madness.
Oh, great.
And now you find out some new places, okay? So you find out there is a level of the dungeon called the Sea Deeps, and that is level 17. You find out...
What did you say that was?
The Sea Deeps, level 17.
Sea Deeps?
Sea, like sea deep, deep sea. So you find out
Like
there's
water.
You find out there's a level called the Caverns of Ooze, and that is level 19. Okay. And then you find out some more information about more obscure levels. Going back to Willowwood and Octuria Doom, you're able to kind of semi-pinpoint a range of what you believe those levels to be. So you believe Willowwood is anywhere from the 4th to 6th level. And you believe Octuria Doom is anywhere from the 13th to 15th level. Okay. And then you find out...
So the Willowwood is either 5th or 6th, because I already know.
Because and you're going to find this out, right? There's, as you're putting together these various bits of information, some of them eliminate other bits of information. So then you find out 2 other pretty obscure locations in the dungeon, but you can't place them yet. You find one of the dungeon levels is called Slither Swamp. And one of the dungeon's locations is called Trobriand's Graveyard. And that one's a little rough, so I'm going to copy-paste it for you. There you go. And that is what your 24 gets you.
Damn, that's a lot of information.
Yeah,
I didn't hear the D, so I put an E in there. Aside from that, I was right there.
I was right on. Right? Yeah, you're slowly but surely compiling a good list of information.
And I would be potentially, as I get a basic outline, looking for interesting facts.
Yeah. So I think again, this is that you're going to go through a lot of rumor and conjecture first. Yep. Mm-hmm. What more specifically, so that I want you to be aware of how you're spending time, right? What I'm calling your research day right now is mapping out the dungeon. And while you're researching that, that's specifically what you're trying to get. Once you're satisfied with that, or you're kind of like, okay, I'm not getting anything, I want to move to something else, then you can start doing research days on specific levels of the dungeon, and that will get you bits and pieces of like rumor or information or general layout or, flora and fauna, that type of shit. But each level is going to have like different DCs, right? So you found a couple of these levels that have a lot fewer little information, like Slither Swamp or Trobriand's Graveyard. Those are going to have much higher DCs to figure anything out on compared to level 4, that type of shit. Okay, you all good? Anything else for your day?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Matashtai, what are you doing for your day?
I don't know.
Or
either doing. Oh, I want to go and fill out that paperwork.
Okay, so that takes you a little while, but that's not a full work day, so you can do something else.
God, I don't have shit to do. I do push-ups in the yard just all day.
You can keep building your reputation with the guard if you want.
Yeah, I'll spend some more time guarding around.
What are you up to now?
Does that
so you increment by another 0.1 with all of these minor days. What are you up to now?
For guard specifically.
Yeah, for guard.
2.3.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Okay. Bones, what are you doing for your day?
I guess for most... hold on, I had a list, actually. I think it's behind my monitors. I can't. I gotta lower the desk.
What? We're going
TV,
down, boys.
Zach looked like he was getting taller.
Oh, wow, that's not actually very helpful.
Monster grow.
Okay, I'll just fuck around for like half the day. Make sure he's got a hut, I guess.
Oh yeah, so at this point, right? Ochotu's hut is probably coming along because this is the 4th.
How's our
Ash's
backyard? Do we have like an overhang? Do we have like a little? What do we got in the back?
not much. There's a patch.
All right, I don't know. I go find. Is there room for like a little overhang, like a little outdoor shop area?
There's actually not much room. There's like a backyard / back alleyway type thing. And that's basically where there's also a side door that goes out on the right side of the tavern. That's the door that like Alan uses to bring in like your groceries and everything like that directly into the kitchen, right?
Yeah.
But you guys are basically squeezing Ochotu into like a 5x5 space where his hut would be.
We're not doing that. He did that to himself.
I mean, this is true.
Okay, he wanted it.
He finds it. He thinks that it's very normal and cozy, but he's basically where there might be location for like a small shop or something like that is now the slowly building Ochotu's hut.
It's the hut.
Yeah, it's the hut. Which is a miraculous combination of mud, which is funny because it's like you guys are hitting winter. So Ochotu is out there like creating mud and it's like freezing half the time while he does it. And he doesn't seem to like care at all. But he's putting together this kind of like wattle and daub hut.
Are lizard folk in D&D cold-blooded?
They are cold-blooded. Specifically though, like legitimately, he is in near freezing temperatures, and he does not seem to care.
Right. I was saying maybe I should get him some winter gear, and then I thought about like maybe he doesn't give a shit.
You say
He
he's
just doesn't seem to care because he's like acting tough?
He's cold-blooded. He
Got
does
knocked
not
out?
seem to give a fuck.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yep.
Interesting.
Well, I mean, like iguanas are cold-blooded, and cold knocked them out of the trees. I've seen that.
I'm aware. I understand. You guys are on the right track.
Can we get him one of those?
It
enclosed,
should
like,
be affecting him. Normal reptiles, it would be affecting the shit out of them. He does
Okay.
not seem to give a
Sure,
fuck.
undead. Got it.
It's clear that nobody in this group has played lizard folk before.
No, I think there's just something else going on, right? Everyone else is like, well, everyone is making that connection of he's cold-blooded, so this should mean something. You guys are on the right track. When I'm saying he doesn't seem
maybe
to give a
he's just
fuck.
Tough.
You know what? Fuck it. Just because I'm curious how the conversation will play out, I'll spend a gold. Or was it a silver or 2 silver? How much was a set of winter clothes?
Oh, they're not super.
Yeah, I thought they were pretty cheap.
I mean, unless you're Zach.
I can just give him mine now that I have a ring that makes it so I'm never cold ever.
They would be 1 gold. They're basically
Right.
double the
Does it
cost
make
of
you
common
never
clothes.
cold?
I'll ask
Or
him
does
if
it
he would
make you
would
resistant to
like
cold?
a set of winter clothes. If he's going to be
Never
out
cold
here,
ever.
if he would like.
And he will say, "I do not feel the cold."
The cold never bothered me anyway.
Do you feel anything?
Yes.
That's a good question.
When I was a hatchling, our oracle spoke and blessed me. I do not feel the cold.
Like just cold though?
I mean, that's cool, but you know, frostbite doesn't care if you feel it or not.
Actually, it preys on you not feeling it.
Actually, so Ochotu is basically blessed with a blessing of warmth. He basically has a built-in ring of warmth.
It's handy.
Can I get one of them?
Yo,
Possibly. Go see his oracle.
by the way,
Appointment or
it's a suppository.
Ochotu will say, I haven't seen her in 150 years, so I'm not sure.
she have the blessing of eternal life?
Not when last I checked.
When we're walking back to go inside, be like, you know what? I really like Ochotu. He's a cool guy, warrior, respect. I'm glad we're able to help him out. But I hope this does not become a habit of the people we free from the menagerie. We might run out of room. Might be running out of real estate pretty quick if this becomes common.
Well, you only kept 1 out of 4.
Had not just disappeared,
Yes,
he would
1 out
still
of
be
4.
here.
Actually, technically, you kept 1 out of 8.
Okay, I know what I would like to do with my day.
Yo, you know those dudes are dead. Those dudes are super dead. We're gonna go.
Probably.
We're gonna end up going through there and running like, hey, you run across some humanoid-like frog people dead in a corner.
All right, I know what I would like to do. I would like to look for, like, basically abandoned or, vacant. I want a fucking, like, a warehouse or shop front that's cheap. That's what I want.
Okay. You want to... Here's the thing. You don't have to, like... Well, I mean, so you do need to go looking, but it's all about location. So...
Yeah, I don't really care about the location.
So for you, what it's going to be is... Dock Ward. Not harbor front. Okay.
Nothing around here where I live. I'd like a short commute.
Yeah, yeah. I thought the location didn't matter.
Well, it doesn't as much as I would.
So the problem with the North Ward is the North Ward and the Sea Ward are the residential wards of Waterdeep.
Backyard. Their shed is fine.
They are. You said warehouse, not somebody's shed.
I know for a fact the Growlhounds got some extra space. We killed most of them.
Wow.
Wow.
God.
What?
So,
it's true.
As I was saying, North Ward and Sea Ward are residential wards that are primarily the middle to upper class. So the real estate in this area is actually expensive.
What's actually expensive? 200 gold?
For renting or buying?
I don't know, both. Give me both prices.
For buying, I think Troll Skull was like 5,000 gold.
Ah, I was not aware of that. How much can I get a cheap-ass warehouse for?
Also, Troll Skull was garbage.
Yeah, and Troll Skull was a rundown piece of shit. You guys there was thousands or hundreds of gold put into renovating it. So if you're looking to rent a space, it might be a tolerable fee. But if you want to buy something, it's going to be expensive as fuck in the North Ward.
What's a tolerable fee?
100 gold a month. Depends on how much space do you need. What do you mean? It's your idea. What are you looking for?
Bro, tell them what you want. Shit.
It's kind of a spur of the moment idea. I'm not really sure what I'm looking for.
Are you looking for a place to put up a shop?
Yeah, shop. Workspace.
Or a workspace? Okay. For 1 person? For 3 people? For 15 people?
Well, there are currently 2 in my troop, so let's start with 2.
2. All right.
1.5.
So you would be looking for a small shop to rent.
Rent to own.
Rent to
rent to
own. No. I don't think you understand how things work around here.
We're clearly not. They won't even establish my check idea.
Oh my god. So if you wanted to do something like that, to fully rent a space, a workspace like that, would probably be somewhere around 100 gold a month for a small space.
Okay. Okay, I want that.
Okay. That is not an instant I ask and I have it done this day. That's you're gonna have to. I figured not. You're gonna have to talk to people, and that might be like 5 days from now. You're handed the keys after negotiations and conversations and paperwork, etc., etc. So, is that something you want to get done though?
Yes.
Do you want to hand wave it and say you do it through the guild, so they take care of all of like the?
Will that get me a better price?
It depends.
They'll take care of all the what? Permitting? What are they taking care of?
Yeah, basically.
Oh well, then yes, let's do that.
But if you're looking for a better price, if you're looking for them to take a cut off of it or something like that, then the guild will be interested in what you're doing and whether or not they're gonna see anything out of it, get anything out of it.
Probably not.
Okay, then it's gonna be 100 gold.
Okay, that's fine. Okay.
But basically, what I'm saying is doing it through the guild is we don't have to do any of the like you seeking out people or negotiating with people or anything. We can just hand wave it behind the scenes and say, in 5 days, the guild gets you this building for X amount of gold per month.
Sounds good to me. Let's do that.
Okay.
That's what I spend my day thinking about that idea and executing.
Sounds good.
And then in the afternoon, I go and pick up my thing.
Okay. Eotaden is super excited and super pleased about it. I also am
excited.
So he probably talks your ear off for a good like 45 minutes, going over the fine details and basically like complimenting you on your work, talking to you about little things that he noticed about the whole thing, and concerns, or maybe not concerns, but like ideas for the future, etc. Eotaden is you're finding him much like Crescent, right? You're finding him in his element. He is incredibly happy and interested to be doing the work that he's doing. So
dope. I appreciate his hard work and have this conversation with him.
Sure.
Additionally,
and I have the conversation.
Additionally,
I'm not gonna small talk about how awesome bones are for 45 minutes with Jeremy.
Which is why I'm giving the paraphrasing. Absolutely.
I then offer my next project, which is Gore, the dagger.
Okay.
And the proboscis.
Gotcha. And so that's the general concept. You and I need to hash out the specifics of that, but your part is done on the dagger, right?
Yep.
Okay, and we're going for the uncommon?
Yes.
Okay, so then the proboscis will count as the qualifying part, necessary part, and so you will owe in my bone crafting. So you will owe 100 gold.
Okay, I pay him.
He'll be ready in 2.5 days.
That's fine. I'll let him know I'll be back sometime before Helldown. I'm not really sure, honestly.
Okay, so you could pick it up at the earliest on the afternoon of the 7th.
Sure. I mean, if we're back. Sometime before Helldown. Probably. Unless something happens.
What could possibly happen?
Can't think of a single.
Cool. Awesome. Fantastic. So, Eotaden
I
is
head back.
very excited and very interested and thinks that he's got the idea down and can't wait to show it off to you in a couple days.
Yeah, dude, you're doing great work. This is the most exciting thing yet.
Okay.
Proud of it.
Head on back home. And is there anything else anybody wants to do before you all meet back up for the evening?
Well, this is my last day of training with Matrim.
Is this your last day or tomorrow's your last day? Is this still the 4th?
Did I? All right, yeah, tomorrow then.
Tomorrow, the 5th.
Tomorrow.
The 5th is your last day. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm saying before we end the 4th,
Right.
as
okay,
you guys
gotcha.
are reconvening, is there anything else anybody else
Same
wants to do?
Oh,
No.
I just thought about this. Another thing, I don't know if it's magical or not, but I still have this stupid fucking ornate box with a withered hand in it.
You mean the phylactery?
Oh yeah,
That thing. What the fuck do we want to do with that? Why do
phylactery.
I have that still?
Because Obaya said it's highly, highly cursed.
So why am I carrying it around?
Did you want
To
me
keep
to
it
identify
safe.
it to tell you what it is?
Sure.
elf magic.
Okay, you identify it?
I pull out the box and let him identify it.
Alright,
Pull out
cool.
my ritual book and spend 11 minutes casting
So
it
I
in.
believe I'm thinking the right thing. Here. This. What did you say was in the box?
It was an ornate box with a withered hand in it.
Typo. Be a withered heart.
Oh, heart.
Okay. Definitely phylactery.
Time? Question mark?
This went from probably a phylactery to phylactery.
So, as there are protective Ezrah. As you identify this thing, you immediately get a headache. There are protective magics on this thing. I need you to roll an Arcana check.
God, if you turn something else skeletal, I swear.
His whole head.
I handed to him in the Pie King skillet. Just...
Yeah, Arcana check.
Hey.
Ooh, and there were duo DCs there. There was a 15 and a 20, so you beat the top DC. Not only do you rebuff any painful countermeasures, you are able to actually pierce through the layers of abjuration that are blocking the information on this, and you
What unspeakable evil.
find out what this thing does.
Okay.
A creature you couldn't attune to this heart.
Why not?
Okay.
Probably do something great, but you'll regret it.
Tell me more.
When you do, the withered heart swaps places with your heart, effectively killing any creature that relies on their heart immediately.
Damn.
Huh.
When that happens,
There's more. Okay.
the person's heart, the one that's swapped, withers, dies, and immediately gains the properties of this withered heart, thus perpetuating itself.
That's
So we just gotta
This
force
is an
someone to attune to it.
This is an intensely cursed, dangerous object.
Hey, Ashes.
What's up?
It's one way to get rid of a lycanthrope.
Wow, that's messed up.
I mean, he did nearly one-shot me in our last big battle.
So what? Do you attune to it and you get like 20 Constitution?
Yeah. That's
all right.
No, I'm kidding. It's funny. No, it's bad. Put it back. down, boy.
Death shake it.
Yeah, I explain. Did we talk to Abaya about this?
You did talk to Abaya about it, and she identified it. When she identified it, she failed her roll. So she was able to find out that it was a very dangerous object, and as she put it, super cursed, I think. Intensely cursed. But she couldn't figure out what it was.
I would explain to Matt what it is, and maybe with that information she could see if she would be willing to.
I mean,
go for it.
if you are a deceptive person, that's a tool.
I mean, I am a deceptive person, but that's not.
Well, like, how do you attune to it though? You just hold on to it, like, for a half hour.
We lock someone in a room with only this in there, and eventually they'll do it.
Why wouldn't we just kill the person?
Is it Schrodinger's cursed heart?
Kind of.
I mean, there are some terrible people out there that sense power and want it, not realizing what they're.
Yeah.
You could also just lie.
There are plenty of people out there that go, "Ooh, this is a magic object. I bet if I attune to it, it gives me 20 Constitution."
That's true. We do have a habit of just attuning to things.
Hey, I think I've at one point attuned to something unidentified just to find out what it does.
We all have done that.
I don't think I have ever done that. Jake, the person, I don't think the person has ever taken.
Coward.
I know what's out there. I don't roll those dice.
Yeah, it's
Look,
fucked up.
early levels. You don't have identify, so
It is a first level spell.
You definitely could.
Never mind. Never mind.
Never mind.
Speaking of attuning to things without identifying them, I appreciate your patience, everyone. I know I've been cagey the last couple days. Ever since I cut off that Oni's hands, I had an idea, and I've been executing it. Me and Ochotu. And thus, I have made these. And I whip them out and I give them to Jacob for you. Jeremy, please reveal.
More skeletal hands.
I will reveal.
Ezra casts Identify.
I forbid you to cast Identify. Put them on.
I take them back. They are no longer yours. I take them back.
I'm attuning to it. It's just the same process as Identify.
So
I worked on making this item, and I had an idea. And then I
flip over.
Worked with Jordan to have him do art for them.
Ooh,
for you.
Damn.
Did I go?
No.
Yes, it did. I'll post them also in our Mad Mage chat.
Where is it? Where am I supposed to be looking?
Nothing popped in roll.
All right, hold up.
Stuff's popped up for me, but.
Oh, because it's other people can't see it yet. Okay, now.
Crap.
That pop up for everyone?
Yes.
Crap.
It's fucking badass, dude.
I give you crack.
The Bones presents you with 2 gloves, right?
It's a pair of gloves.
It's a pair of gloves. That are they're the skin of the hands of the Oni, right? That have been tanned, and then the bones have been laced into the outside of the gloves, along with the talon-like fingernails of the Oni, right? There are runes etched throughout the bones, and it's a legit magic item, Ezra.
That's fucking badass, dude.
Pretty dope.
Thank you, Bones.
Wow. And Jordan did the art for that?
It's fucking
That's
impressive.
Beautiful.
Jordan did the art. Yeah. I
It
talked
looks
to him
really
about it.
cool. Zach is the one who came up with the idea for the actual item itself. I just fleshed out mechanics. He came up with the name. He came up with the little the transaction to die for. Zach did a great job on this with Jordan's assist. Absolutely. Super cool.
Fucking cool, dude.
I think both Zach and I have been a little impatient over the last like week and a half trying to get to this point to where we could
they've been
present
ready for a while.
So, because we thought we were going to be able to do it last Wednesday, and then we didn't, and then we did Monday, and we were like, surely Monday, and then we didn't. So, but they're pretty amazing. And they are presented to Ezrah by Bones.
Are these attunement?
They are.
They are.
That's really cool. I like that a lot.
It is super fucking cool. This is one of, if not the coolest thing that a player has ever done in my game. As far as like external shit. Like,
Right.
you know, this, Jake's artwork for Rin, and that type of shit, all really fucking cool shit.
Someone else to do that though. I didn't.
Zach got Jordan to do it. It's not like he did it himself, but you know, it's the initiative, right?
I
And
don't
the
like the
idea,
ability
the
to do
concept, you know? Like having a player, I'm going to tell you, you guys, having a player feel that passionately about something in a game is like, oof, good shit. That's addicting shit right there. Also, it helps that this is super cool. There are tiny little details. I don't know if that's a spoiler, but there are tiny little details on the gloves. I feel like I could gush about these for a long time.
Commence
And they're not even mine. Oh, fuck.
I'm like,
Yeah, I've
I'm
had them
like
for a while.
looking
But I would do
intently to see if like Beepus is somewhere in it.
There's no
Well,
Beepus. No, there's no Beepus.
There's no
Like
Beepus.
two specific things, right?
Yeah.
And they're pretty obvious if you look at them. But if you want to look at it for a sec, I can.
Oh,
I'd
Yeah, I see one of them. I
Which
see
one
one.
do you see?
I see your name.
Mm-hmm.
On the knuckles.
Well, they're like wrist bones, but yeah.
Well, they're a little far back for knuckles. but-
Knuckles, yeah.
So what all went in, like materials wise, to make them?
The gloves, and then I had I mean, just the gloves and that gem. Basically, they're just an uncommon item.
So they're just uncommon. So he used the Oni hands
I
themselves
just used the
as
hands,
the basis for
right?
the item.
Debone the hands, and then that's why I had Ochotu make leather
And
Is
out
that
of the skin.
And then when
Is
he
that a
visited
yeah.
Agita, that's what he was buying that gem for. That's why he wanted something frosty oriented.
ah?
So the gem was a focuser for the enchanting process. And you can use like gems for enchantment, or you can use like specific like parts. Like now he's using the proboscis for anticoagulation, that type of stuff. So.
It's like I rolled
I have
pretty
to
well.
ask you, Jake. Though this is important. How much cooler would these look if the fingers protruding from the gloves were bony?
I don't know. I like the
True.
claws.
I like the claws.
The dude's hands weren't bony. That's like what his fingernails looked like.
Yeah, he's got these long black. Do you
Oh,
remember?
it looks is it? Are they fingerless? Like I see, they're like mostly.
They are fingerless. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
they're
was-
fingerless,
was
so
part
that
of
the
it.
claw tips will be like just out at the
Right.
point.
That's something I like specifically talked to Jordan about, because I wanted them to be fingerless.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
I think where's? Oh, I never gave you guys this handout. I'm so bad about that. You guys gotta remind me to give handouts. So this is the Oni handout. So if you can see his long ass dagger-like hand claws,
Mhm.
right? That's what those are.
Yeah.
So they were. It was an uncommon item already. Like I got the uncommon material.
Yeah.
And then spent time and stuff to make them.
And I think the mechanical benefit, the cast Chaos Bolt, twice per day is pretty cool. Because there's more spell slots for you that you don't have to spend on stuff like that. But I also think it's very spicy that it's only cold or necrotic.
Yeah.
Like that feels super thematic. Like Zach came up with that idea and it was just fucking dope. Like as soon as, because we were spitballing some other ideas and then he said that and I was like, oh nope, that's the one. We're done. We're doing that one.
Done and done.
Okay, so we go through that, right? Bones presents these gloves to Ezrah. We gush, and then I think that is the end of the 4th. Unless anyone has anything else? Okay, I think that's good. So, of note, I will say this. He's not here. Never mind. I'll tell him when he gets back. Because Matashtai would have been given information, basically about like prep and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
For Jowl Down?
For Jowl Down.
Jowl Down?
Yeah,
Okay.
That's where you just go and hang out with a bunch of big dogs.
There's like,
Timing is everything. Okay. Then if no one has anything, we're moving on to the morning of the 5th. Oh, Mitch, you're back in your seat. Matashtai would have been told more information about Howdown when you did all the paperwork and signed up and etc. etc. They would have asked you, right, like, how many people are in your party? What are you guys interested in? So, you would have been told that, and I think we've already kind of discussed this, but just to gloss over things again, right? You would have been told that your party is gonna be put into
Trucking only.
Into a multi-part operation where the guard is going to be attacking different settlements in the hills around Amphale. Is it Amphale? I think so. That basically a clan of trolls has set up in. Okay? And there's multiple different settlements. You guys are going to be tasked with a group of guard to go after one. You need to be available on the 10th. Okay? Because on the 11th, they... Huh?
Today's the 4th or 5th?
Today, right now is the 4th, but we're about to roll over into the 5th.
Okay.
So you need to be up top on the 10th because they are leaving the city on the 11th. And the 10th is when they're going to match you up with your liaison. You're going to find out who you're with. You're going to figure out where you're going, etc., etc. So you need to be here on the 10th, and then you're leaving on the 11th. If you're not here on the 10th, they're going to assume that you're not coming, and they're going to be pissed.
Roger that.
Yeah. Sounds good. All right. Then the day rolls to the 5th. And the morning of the 5th, you guys do your normal shtick, wake up, break your fast. And there's a little bit of news. It's all about timing. There's a little bit of news. In the morning. And actually, you guys probably overhear it because he's not exactly a super morning person, so he's probably, like, he's not there crack ass at dawn like Cine is. Cine gets there at, like, 5 in the morning to open the tavern, right? But as you guys are up and about and breaking your fast, Vincent Trench walks in.
think I've met him yet.
So this individual, kind of like classic noir private eye detective, right? Trench coat, hat, that whole shtick, comes waltzing
Set
into
the tone whenever he walks into a room.
Yeah, absolutely. Walks in, and sees you all, sees Cine, and goes, "Ah, good. You're all here." It kind of nods over at Cine and says, "Technically, I'm working off the clock right now. I've already done what you paid me. If you guys remember, Cine paid Vincent some coin to keep tabs on an individual that was potentially making problems. But Vincent comes in and he says, "But I heard this after our job completed, and I thought I'd share it in good faith. Now keep in mind, I can't prove any of this. The sources, well, they're a little shaky. Things like this happen. The realm idea. But the word on the street is that your pal, Emic Froon, has been buying up a whole lot of different poisons.
Who's Emic Froon?
Did you say Imbrick?
No,
Emic Froon.
Emic?
He's the other bar owner in the North Ward that thought we were stealing his business.
I have no memory of that.
Yeah, this guy spying on because he was making threats.
Poison, you say?
Says, I don't have any particulars, no proof, nothing like that. But I have a couple of contacts, and when someone starts making waves, they let me know. Apparently our buddy Froon, well, he started buying up a small hoard of various poisons. Not sure what he's doing with them. Just thought I might pass the word on. Just so next time you have any investigative need, remember who's in your area.
Appreciate that.
Just put this guy on retainer like shit.
He's expensive.
You can, but it costs.
Tulip screams somewhere.
Yeah, Tulip is just like, no!
Trench!
There's just a bubble coming up off the harbor.
Yeah, he's still in the harbor. It's been months.
Not left the harbor. They just hang out in the submarine.
The submarine just crashed. There's food, there's air. It just can't go anywhere.
They've been panicking for 4 months.
That tracks. That tracks.
Just underwater.
Tulip wakes up screaming, and Aster's like, "Stop!
You're wasting the air."
When the fuck is the dragon gonna find us?
Oh man.
Start tapping Morse code
So,
on the
Trench
wall.
afterwards, right? Trench just kind of like gives you the tip of the hat, right? He says, "Oh, that's all I had. If I hear anything else, let you know."
Thanks, Stretch.
And he jets.
Crazy to think that it's not Xanathar that might be poisoning me.
Maybe he is the Xanath.
Actively poisoning.
Could be both.
Poison.
Why not both?
Both is good.
Both is good.
You wanna go rough him up? Damn, I wish we still had. We wish we had an automaton to sick on people.
No. Like you said, there's no proof. Just need to be a little bit more careful about what we're shoving in our mouths.
We do have a doppelganger.
Doppelganger. Oh, that reminds me. Yeah. No, I don't think I want to do anything just yet. Like, without proof, I don't want to... And also, this is within the city. It's not like in the Undermountain where we can just
Kill people?
do things.
Just
could
kill
send a
people?
Literal spy to
Just
find
fucking
out.
kill them?
How do
I
we
mean-
prove that he poisoned you? Catch him in the act, but what sort of forensics can we use with magic?
Slow turn to Ezra.
Nothing that I know of. I mean, I was able to suss out what it was, but
Yeah.
after the fact.
Wait, so you asked about the poison, and Matrim said that it's pretty common for people to have it?
Yeah,
It's an
yeah.
expensive poison.
In certain sense.
Matrim said that basically any group worth their salt would have access to it, right? And any wealthy person, like any noble family, might be expected to keep something like that on hand.
Well, we could start by asking around alchemists and potioners around the area to see if they have sold this guy any.
Well,
Where
I
does
mean,
he live? Does he live
I
above
don't.
his
I
bar?
don't think any person that's selling poison is gonna rat out who they're selling to. Like that. That just seems like a kind of a faux pas in that whole like transaction.
That's how you lose your customers.
Not if you grease some palms.
Well, that person might come back and buy more poison, though.
So,
This time for you.
Depends on the alchemist, I suppose.
fine.
Whatever.
I guess we'll just,
If
we'll
you-
just let him poison us. I guess we just don't care.
If you don't want to do anything, but we won't do anything. But where does he live? Does he live above his bar? I'm down to break in.
You could investigate.
I could break and enter, or we could just go back to the dungeon. Either way.
Well, the thing is, like, I don't want to endanger Anastas
I will say this.
unfairly.
You guys literally a private investigator for hire just walked out the door.
Oh, we could hire him again. Let's do that.
If you guys want to do something investigative to find proof, that's what a private investigator does.
Hey, Vincent, real quick.
Vincent Tiger King Trench, come back.
Okay, so you guys get Vincent back in. He's all cold, stoic. Yeah.
He was slowly walking away. as I
Very
was stepping all
slowly.
back.
He
Like
hadn't
Adam
even made
numbers.
like he took one step down off of y'all's like front porch area and just kind of like waited and listened, and it was like
He was just waiting for the light bulb to finally ding.
Yeah.
Wait for it.
So
We
yeah, he'll
might-
come in and be like, "What can I do for you?"
We might
know what you
need,
can do.
More in-depth services.
Ah,
So, I can tell you that a few nights ago, I did in fact suffer from being poisoned.
he actually like he doesn't. His eyes widen a little bit and he says, "Sorry, I didn't get this information to you sooner."
Well, with the help of Matt over here, he cured me, and with the knowledge that Ezra has, was able to find out that it was Midnight's Tear that was the cause.
He kind of purses his lips and whistles at that. If Froon is spending money for tears, he means business.
Right. So,
He must be done
if
crying.
could
about it.
maybe see if you can find a little bit more solid proof of his going-ons that would alleviate some concerns.
I'll see what I can do. Just to manage expectation. Are you looking for proof to convict? Or are you looking for proof to affirm your concern?
Enough for street justice.
Vigilante.
He kind of like nods and he says,
No.
because that's one thing, but enough proof for the guard or the watch. Enough proof for a justice. That's
No.
a different thing.
It's actually not my call.
Remind me to task Ochotu to making me a mask before we leave.
No, Matt, you made a good point.
For street justice.
Ashes,
we
they did it.
probably pursue this hard, because, like, if I die from this, that's one thing. Like, that's it for me. But I'm not going to be able to sleep well at night knowing that we didn't do something about this and one of you go instead. I'm not going to be able to sleep well like that.
I would not like to go out by poison. That doesn't seem like fun.
Hey, can tell you, not super fun.
I mean, being killed by a harpsichord is one thing, but dying by poison.
All right, Vincent. How much you need?
Proof for the watch, if it
Proof
exists.
for the watch. If it exists.
If not, street justice.
That'll take some dedication of my time. It's more than just keeping an ear to the ground. And he kind of like gives a slight nod to Sine, because that's what Sine had kind of like paid him for previously, was just to keep an ear on things. I'll have to use contacts. Using contacts means they might get burned.
Don't poke your eye out.
Huh? He kind of like takes his hand and kind of like rubs it across his face. It kind of like looks odd, right? Like he has this very kind of like sunken jaw face, right? This very structured face, but his hands are kind of like, I don't know. He looks very like rugged, right? But his hands look kind of like pretty boy hands, honestly. Right?
And I'll be like completely like candid with them. I'll let them know that we're also not on great terms with Zent and with the Zentarum and the other bad people. Xanathar. They start off so similar.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. And he'll
Well,
nod and he says,
Right.
fair, but not an unknown. Most adventurers mucking around in Waterdeep end up on one or other shitlet.
Yep, that tracks.
I'll see what I can do. I'll find what I can find. And I'll use contacts if I need. Give me 10 days. And 150 gold.
Okay, I give him. I look.
I give.
I'm
50.
down for 5. I'll pay 5. 5 plat, 50 gold.
I was like 5. Wow, really?
5 gold.
deep.
I deal in platinum now. I'm sorry. I only think in
I
platinum.
only use platinum now!
I can't. I only think in platinum. I can't help it.
I'm gonna.
And yeah, then I'll pull out 10 more platinum.
Okay.
And
Oh wait, no, I paid 50. You got 5.
okay, then I guess
5, 10, 15.
Well, that 3 of us will just take 5. Just like
No, I paid gold. That's all I got. So.
Oh. Fair enough.
There's a big old stack. 10 times higher.
5 plat, 50 gold.
I like volume.
Okay. Vincent will he'll look, right? So we can say this if you guys would like.
10 days.
He will only take half now. He will not take the full payment until the job is complete. So he'll take half now, but if you guys want, you can go ahead and deduct the full total so that we don't have to worry about it come back around.
I already did.
But role play wise, right? He respectfully,
He is honorable.
yeah, he takes the half, right? He's gonna do the job that he needs to do, and then when he does what he said he would, then he'll get paid for the rest.
So he implying that it was a Floon?
Froon.
No, not Boone.
Emic
That's the last-
Froon. You literally have only heard of this guy because he got mad because he wanted to buy Troll Skull. And then fucking Volo bought it. And then Volo gave it to
Some clowns.
Ezrah and your predecessors.
Some shitty fucking upstart adventurers.
Yeah. And so Froon bought a nearby bar, and he's been making overtures towards you guys for the last month or so.
Okay. 10 days from now, that should be the 14th of Night All. Correct? Today's still the 4th?
No, today's the
Today-
5th.
Okay, that's going to be happening the
15th.
15th.
Okay.
Emic.
If you guys are even in the city at that point.
Yeah,
Right.
We'll be dead.
Yeah,
I'm
or
here.
alive.
Or alive, sure. Who cares about poison when you're dead in a dungeon?
Or in a swampland.
Or in a troll's belly? Alright,
Not gonna be a troll valley. Shut up.
so...
Yeah, this is just the morning.
Yeah, Vincent leaves. It is the morning of the 5th. What do you guys want to do? Are you going back to the dungeon today? Or is it another
I want...
round of R&R?
I'm down
Now,
for dungeon.
if we want to go back down, I can, but I have one more day on harpsichord training.
That's true. So you guys could go
I'm
down
fine
on the
with whatever
6th,
you want.
and then you have the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. You have to be back on the 10th. Well, I mean, you don't have to. You guys can do whatever you want, but as far as the guard's concerned, you have to be back on the 10th.
Once you get your harpsichord training done, then we can go check out the harpsichord again.
Yeah, harpsichord train.
Right.
Well, if the plan is to get to Skullport and start doing some digging, that shouldn't have heavy implications on how long we need to stay down there, pending what chaos. And that will allow me to finish up a Harper task in Skullport.
Fine with me. When was Gore supposed to be ready? The 7th, right?
The afternoon of the 7th.
That works well
What
for
are
me.
you
Now
turning-
that,
what are you turning Gore into?
that's a dag.
Is he gonna do cool stuff? What kind of cool stuff? I don't know what kind of cool stuff.
You look at that. You make these one pair of gloves, and Mitch's like, what's this gonna do?
What's it gonna do? I want to know what it's gonna do. Zach and I are still hashing out specifics on it.
Yeah, I don't have the exact mechanics on it yet.
Does it leave a hole in the person that doesn't heal?
Kinda. Itch.
I'm not sure.
Hey, look, it's just throwing this out
It's
there.
a
You make
Minotaur
any
horn
old
dagger
stuff, it
with
won't kill.
manticore claws embedded in it, as if a little chainsaw.
Like it's a little serrated dagger.
I don't know if you guys played the .hack GU series on the
I did
PlayStation
not.
2.
I have exactly the same vision as you do
That was
right
a
now,
great
Jay.
game, actually.
those fucking daggers.
I didn't play that.
You should find that and show Zach. Like, legitimately. Like, Zach will... So it's... Anyways. So it's the 5th. You guys are talking about doing another day of R&R and then going into the dungeon on the 6th.
Yeah, we can do that. I'm fine with it. Whatever you want to do.
Okay. So, I mean, if that's the case, let's do a round of R&R. Ashes, what are you doing for the day?
I will finish my harpsichord training. I still can't believe that my character has gone through piano lessons.
Uh-huh.
But
Only to end up with skeletal hands, just like Ezra.
but they'll look cool.
All about timing. Okay.
I refuse to risk Matt's hands.
But
So-
yeah, I'll hit up Matrim and
At the end of this training period, right? Matt, you are able to play through the melody perfectly. You're at this point, right? You're kind of having nightmares about it, right? Because if you think about it, it's now 80 hours of you just learning to play this melody. A single melody over and over and over and over again and not fuck it up.
no pressure.
Yeah. So, training complete.
Yeah, I'll
Atrim
know.
congratulates you. Is still a little
thanks.
like, I'm not sure. I mean, I assume you told him what you're doing it for,
yeah,
but
yeah,
he's
I'll
like, I'm not sure
completely
this is
honest.
all worth it, but good luck.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it could be really cool shit. Might not be. Like, that's just part of adventuring. So,
Venturing.
Fair enough.
Maybe venturing.
All right.
yeah.
Anything
But,
else you're doing for your day?
Yeah, no, yeah, I think that's it. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll see you at the tavern.
Yeah, I'll see you around. I mean, just because we no longer got this thing going on doesn't mean come look me up, come hang out.
Actually,
You can't hang out, bro.
before.
Or I
was
mean,
sent-
if you're ever interested in actually really learning and sticking with the instrument, you've already got a good foundation. Now we just polish it all off.
Maybe I'm not against it. Yeah.
Well, you know where to find me.
Yep.
It's Yasha with the harp all over again.
Thanks, man.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Except the harpsichord isn't as easy to carry around.
Carry around. All right, Ezra, what are you doing for the day?
I am going back to studying, but I am going to do a more focused search.
Okay.
Primarily starting with this underwater entrance.
Ooh, okay.
And if I'm getting no leads or get what seems like a good foundation of information, I'm going to switch to Skullport and try and get information on that specifically.
Roll me a history check. 17. Okay. You spend the better part of the time tracking down information because you're trying to get specifics. I can give specifics, but I think they might be a little bit in depth right now. I will message you later. But basically, you find out, you find an approximate location enough to where you think you could find it, and you find out that actually the Sargoth entrance, the Sargoth River, where it lets out into the Sea of Swords, right? That is the Skullport entrance. That the Sargoth River or Skullport is on the Sargoth River, right? So the original location of the city and the Sargoth Enclave, that's how smugglers and pirates and various individuals, etc., that's how they all got down into Skullport, was the Sargoth entrance.
So, well, I'm just trying to understand here. So does Waterdeep sit up on a cliff And so we went down into level 1, 2, 3.
Oh.
So the water's
Magic
like
river.
here, we're down here, and then the river's like, way up here.
Ezra, I think this is probably you spend time figuring all this out with your research, right? The way the Sargoth River, the way Skullport works, is there is a series of titanic, incredibly old magical locks that lower ships down through multiple tiers to the level of Skullport and the Sargoth.
So it's
The base of the
like
river itself.
Smuggler Panama Canal.
Yeah. So the when we say the Sargoth entrance itself, the Sargoth River actually lets out into the ocean far beneath the surface. But there are caves up above, right, that let out into the expanse, and the locks go from there down into the actual dungeon itself.
Cool.
And
Okay.
and I'll be honest, right? So this is probably a little more than your 17 would get you. But the other thing is the Sargoth was a natural river, but it's been bent and twisted and flipped about with magic so many times over the last several thousand years by the Sargoth Enclave, by Halaster Blackcloak, etc., that it doesn't really follow the normal rules of a river anymore. Like, it flows in multiple directions.
So, sorry, I don't want to sidetrack. I'm just trying to, like, logistically map things out in my head. So, the aboleth we keep hearing talk about is supposed to be in the Sargoth River. Right?
You've heard downstream.
So it's supposed to be, like, pretty much in Skullport then, isn't it?
I was told it was at the farm.
Which Ezra has now corroborated through his research is the 4th level of the dungeon.
So the river just keeps going.
So the river goes down? Maybe it splits. Okay. Maybe it like Skullport Farm. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
My brain is content with that.
Absolutely. By the way, I normally don't, but like, yeah, absolutely, that's how it works, Mitch. That's exactly what happens. Is the river splits, and one goes in one flippity dippity weird direction, and the other one, right? So you have the Sargoth level that you guys have seen, right? The river, one splits off and goes in kind of like a more normal direction, right? But the other one splits, and it basically like loop-de-doops underneath that level, and that's where the farms are.
Oh, cool.
That is cool.
The dungeon of the Mad Mage is cool.
It's a Mad Mage's dungeon. All right, so that's what you're able to kind of like suss out from all of those different little parts and pieces, etc., etc. That's what your 17 gets you.
Man, how cool would that be? Your job was to develop a level for this dungeon. Like, just like come up with some ideas for this level. Like, that'd be so fucking cool.
Be pretty cool. So in theory, you know this. It's not like a simple journey. It's like a half a day's travel to get to these caves. They're to the south of Waterdeep, right? So it's not really like it might be useful information in the long run, but it's not like a quicker route to get down to Skullport necessarily.
That was what I was trying to
Yeah,
answer.
it's because it's like a half-day travel south of Waterdeep to even get to the caves, and then you have to go down the series of locks to get to Skullport. In theory, it's only a couple hours just to go down through the dungeon itself. So, but it might be safer depending on what your plans are. Or there might be really big bad shit in the locks. Who knows?
What? No.
Dungeons and Dragons, everybody. Anyways, moving on. Okay, so that's Ezra. Is there anything else you want to do for your day?
Not if I got anything about Skullport during
No,
that time.
that's pretty much the 17 only gets you so much. So that's basically what it got.
Head
is
down.
the Sargal stuff.
I have a mechanics question.
Yes.
So, water combat.
Yes.
So many tangents.
How's that gonna affect me?
What do you mean?
Like,
The
do
same
I
as
have
affects everyone
disadvantage on
else?
swangs? Do I like what does fighting in water detriment to you?
Oof. There's a whole litany of things.
There's a write-up of this somewhere.
But it depends on what you're doing. We can talk about this after this session, though, if you would like.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of different things, and it depends on a variety of different things. So, what do you want to do for your day, Matashtai?
Well, I was thinking about training underwater.
Training underwater for a day is not gonna
Jesus
do
Christ.
anything for you. You would need to grow fins and gills.
Well,
He's got a cap of water breathing.
I have a cap of water breathing, and I have a ring of swimming.
Okay. Then actually, I think you might not have to worry about it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think there are some mechanics that you're gonna need to worry about, but I think a lot of the mechanics you get to ignore because of those two things. So.
Wasn't there like mariner's armor in the fucking item shop?
It's too late now, bitches. No, I'm just.
Wait, I think Rin had mariner's armor.
Yeah, Ren had a set of Mariners
and
plate.
had it.
No, yeah, I know Rin did, but I think there was also. I don't think there is now, but I think there was.
Might have been in the first
I don't remember.
iteration.
I know I thought it was bullshit or something. Like I thought. I was
Hey,
like, well, this is
Underwater
awful.
people
love
diss
the
on the
idea of
underwater stuff,
fights.
and they're always like, whatever, and it's super not useful until it's the most useful fucking thing you have.
Boy,
Look,
Jay, I feel like
but-
it's a conversation we had a couple of hours ago.
Look, in Jake's campaign, I play a dwarf. I have 25 feet movement, right?
Yeah.
Except in water, because I've got a cloak of the manta ray and I have 60 feet movement speed. Oh my god!
There you go.
Uh,
It happens. All right. What do you want to do for your day, Matashtai?
Well, if I don't need to train underwater, I'm going to carouse at the yawning portal.
Roll me another persuasion and your choice of what was it? You're gonna roll insight. Just roll insight. Persuasion and
Okay.
insight. I don't know why I'm like your choice of insight or the other thing.
If you
You're
ever
clearly
give me
gonna
the
do
option
insight.
for insight, assume I'm going to insight.
That's why I was like, yeah, fuck it. Okay, so real quick, carousing. Let's see what you get. Your insight, unfortunately, is still not. The DC on this, by the way, is 20. You find no secrets. You find a lot of good stories, a lot of interesting stuff, but you find no secrets. Your persuasion, however, right? That nets you 2 potential allied contacts. So basically, you have really good conversations and form like a little friendship or interesting potential partnership with 2 people, which you and I can develop who those 2 people are, who you, because I want you to have input in it. I don't want to just be like, oh, you do with this person, and they might not be anything you're interested in. So you and I offline will come up with 2 people that you meet at the bar that you think are interesting contacts for you to have in the city. And we'll build them out a little bit, and then we can put them on your sheet as people you can specifically involve yourself with if you would like to.
Cool. All right.
So 2 allied
That was
contacts
gratuitous.
for the piking.
For the Peking.
Up high, king.
Greg.
Okay.
Viking.
So, like carousing legitimately. Oh, sorry. It's also you're doing the 10 gold again, right?
Yeah. I'll
Okay.
do that again.
Then subtract 10 gold.
Gonna be poor pretty quick.
It can definitely get a little.
Nothing like debt and spending more money.
Gotcha. Okay, sounds good. Got a bad one. Anyways, moving on from there. Bones, what do you want to do for the day?
Okay, first.
Starting.
Shotu, bro, do you like need some money? Like,
So you guys realize he's basically been living off of charity for the last couple days, and he's not against the scenario, mostly because the conversations he's been having with you, Bones, right, is that you two are gonna work together on stuff,
yeah,
right? But he
let
basically
me give you some money to live on, and then like, I got a plan, right? Let's start making some money.
he says, I would like to work the thing. I would like to be useful.
Okay. We'll see. Let's see. I got 20 owl bear claws. They're pretty dang big. Make some bullshit out of these. You wanna make some stuff out of these?
Are you basically just like saying you're gonna give them to him with the liberty that he can make whatever he wants, and so are you gonna like furbish him with stuff and he just makes it and sells
I'm
it?
gonna give him some money, and I'm saying Bonzo Chotu company needs to start making some money.
Okay. So that's what I'm saying. You're giving him money just to live off of, right? But then you're also giving him materials and saying, make what you want out of this and then sell it.
Yes. Or, I don't know. I was actually thinking about what could actually be made out of owlbear claws, but I don't really know how big they are. They look big as fuck.
They're like bear claws. They're big.
Bears aren't that big.
Jesus Christ.
What?
What? Bear claws aren't that big? What do you mean?
What?
You mean like from Dunkin' Donuts?
No, those are pretty big.
Oh my god. You are beyond help.
A black bear claw might be 2 to 4 inches.
It's not very big, bro. That's little.
4 inches for a claw? A claw!
One.
We ain't talking about your pee-pee. We're talking about a hard piece of bone that can cut through you.
Damn!
That was
Also, owl bears are 8 to 10 feet tall.
They
So
big.
tall a bear
Okay,
is.
okay, maybe they're more on like the grizzly size. How big is a grizzly bear?
Also, look at the size of the claws on this picture. Just take a
Okay, I call bullshit. Every single bear that I look up, whether it's black bear, brown bear, grizzly bear, it doesn't matter. They all say the same. They all say 4 inches for their claws. 4 inches for their
I have
claws.
that exact picture
a
in my
polar
head.
bear is about 12 inches.
For that didn't make any sense.
That's a short sword.
I
A
got
grizzly
20
bear
short
is
swords
4
with a
inches and a
claws?
polar bear is 12 inches? What happened, evolution?
Oh, it's paw. Sorry.
Okay.
All right. All right.
Oh god.
Those are a
Okay.
little different.
That's a little
I'm
different.
pretty excited, but
God damn. 4
I was like,
inches. 4
20
inches is
masterwork short swords.
pretty large for a claw.
That's 400G.
But yeah, you're not gonna make like a dagger or a short sword or something out of a owlbear
Why
claw.
don't you make darts, dude? Can you throw darts as a rogue?
Darts are cheap. I don't care about darts. I'm trying to make money, bro.
Yeah, but that's a thing you can yeet without having to worry
Oh.
about, like, number of you have.
Just
Worry
yeet my
about it
daggers.
being your +1 magic weapon?
Yeah, like, you just keep that on you and just yeet darts.
I have daggers. Many daggers to yeet.
It's like 5.
Fine.
Shit.
I no longer want to help you.
Regardless, though, so if you want to spend your
Fine. I would like to make 20. I would like to work with him today to make 20 darts. Common ass darts.
That's very, very easily something that you two can do.
That is what I would like to do.
I hope you kill. I hope every single one of those darts somehow kills something.
That would be
I can
pretty
just
awesome.
Rub this in your
actually.
face.
That would be quite fortuitous.
So previously we had talked about this has been a while now, a very long while, but we had talked about the potential for doing non-magical crafting on occasion, and you hadn't been super interested in that. You sounded like you mostly wanted to focus on magical crafting. But if you want the occasional option for non-magic crafting or through Ochotu non-magic crafting, what we could do is talk about some general mechanics for like potential like masterwork craft, you know, that kind of concept, which we would probably do with like a roll on each particular item or something like that, just to see. But for now, you can go ahead and mark off that you make, because you could easily make 20 darts in a day with Ochotu's assistance, easy.
You make a spiked club.
So you can make
Club.
I have 20 darts.
20 darts. It's probably more. I mean, they're the same. Probably more along the lines of like a shuriken than a dart, but yeah.
20 dart shurikens.
They functionally
Clawkins.
are the same thing. Clawkins. Alright.
And I'm going to leave him with a set yet undetermined amount of bones. And we're going to talk about the next project.
Awesome. And you're going to leave him with some money. So we can hash that all out offline.
Yeah, I'll give him 30 plat.
Jesus.
How much does he need? How much does, by your reaction, I have determined that it's too much. How much does he? I guess I'm gonna be back in like 5 days.
You pay.
How much does he need?
You pay your seneschal. You pay Sine 10 gold a week to run your tavern.
The value of money. Yeah, it's pretty clear I don't understand the value of money.
You're gonna give this lizard folk that you've known for 5 days 300 gold. You wouldn't pay 500 gold for the magical component that you needed to make a magic item, but you're just gonna give this lizard folk 300 gold.
Look, how about you give him 10 gold and then you just cut 500 gold off of my debt?
I'm more emotionally attached to him than I am the proboscis.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, I give him.
I thought you were saying you're more emotionally
5
attached to
plat?
him than Matt, and I was gonna
I
say,
don't
fuck
know.
you.
50 gold is a perfectly respectable amount of gold for him to not have to worry about things, for him to buy some things for his hut, afford meals, not have to be living off of charity while you guys are gone for the next little while.
Okay.
But
5 plat is what I
he takes it under the understanding that he wants to be doing work and not living off of charity.
Yeah, work. That's def.
Okay. Gotcha. All right, so we'll get specifics from you on that. And next time we pick up, it will be the 6th.
To the dungeon.
So next week, it's the 6th. We will head off into the dungeon unless something else happens. Next time on Dungeon the Mad. Alright, that's it for the session. We'll see you all next time. Bye, everybody!
Bye-bye.
Bye.